In this class, we'll be looking at different number systems. We have basically, you know, different types of number systems, and yeah, so we could just do a little bit of. So yes, we have the normal number system that we use is we will use like our numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. So in this case, this we call the Denary number system. Or we could call it the base 10 number system. This is what we use. So what is the meaning of this number system now? The meaning of this number system is it says that the maximum number that you have, when you look at the unit level, the maximum number that you have is 9. 9 is the maximum, and the minimum is 0. This is what a base 10 number is, and it's just the basic number that we use on an everyday. So example of this is 1 1, which is 1 in 11. So you see, like, either of the numbers, if you take any of the numbers, it could be between the range of 0 to 9. I mean, here you could also have 99, you could have 80, you could have 73, and this is so wide a range of numbers. Now, then we will look at, so basically here we're talking about the base 10 numbers, right? So the next one we will look at, the next example, we could use base 2 numbers, right? The base 2 numbers have 0 and 1 as the maximum. So how do you come across, how do you come to this definition of what is the numbers that you would have in a certain type of number? So for base 10, you have 0. So just to make a little quick reference, you have 0 to base 10, which is 10 minus 1. This is the minimum, and this is the maximum. Now for base 2, what you have is 0 till 2 minus 1, which is, so basically the only numbers you have in base 2 is 0, 1. And base 2, another name for base 2 is called binary numbers. So we have base 2, and examples of base 2. An example of base 2 numbers include 1, 0, and then here in this case you have to put the 2 below it. 1, 1, you have to put the 2 below. You cannot have a case that has 2. In this case, you could have 1, 0, 0, 2. This is the way base 2 numbers are, and this is the way it reflects. So when you have base 3, the numbers of base 3 is 0 till 3 minus 1. So basically 0 till 2. So every number that is here, and so the numbers you can have in base 3 is 0, 1, and 2. And so when you look at the combination of the numbers you could only have 1, 1, 0, and then you have to write 3 underneath it, because this is writing this number underneath is what differentiates it from the normal number that we're used to. Normally we don't write base 10 under it, but yeah, this is because this is the normal standard that we use, so we don't necessarily have to write it. But in this case, you have to write it, so then we know that it's in base 3, and then you have 2, 10. You could also have 2, 1, 0, and you could have all numbers down the line, right? So but when we look at these base numbers, these different number systems, we could have base 4, we could have base 5, we could have base 6, base 7, and it just follows the same logic, right? But the most popular ones are the the base 10 popular number systems. Just a moment. So here we have the popular number systems. So the popular number systems is base 10, which is the normal one that we use on a daily. This we call decimal or denary. And the next one is base 2. These are the most popular ones. Base 2, which is binary numbers. And then we have the base 8, which is called the octal numbers. And then we have base 12, which is the dual decimal. And then we have the base 16, which is this is hexadecimal. Now, these are, the most popular types of bases. So, most cases when you go and in most books you see like a lot of reference to this. Because maybe even computers use this particular set of numbers a lot. Now, how do you represent? So, here we previously we already touched on base 10. This is the one we are used to a lot of this, right? We're used to a lot of this. And then we also touched base 2, which is also, it's just basically the one we did immediately after base 10, which is here. This is base 2. And then we did base 3, but it's not so popular. So base 8 is basically taking the same calculation form of base 2 and base 3, where we basically say the range of numbers you have is between 0 and then this, the base number, which is the 3 in this case, but could be 8 in the case of base 8, minus 1, and then you have 0 till 7. So in this case, for the case of base 8, it will be 0 till 7. Now, in the case of base 12 and base 16, it will be kind of a bit different. And this is because we have base 12. So we know that this should be between 0 till 12 minus 1. So here, the base 12 should equal to 0 till 11. And so in this case, what we see is we'll say we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10, when you get to 10, then you cannot write 10, then you introduce A. And then A represents 10. And then you introduce B, which represents 11. And since we are supposed to stop at 11, then we just take a pause here. Now, we could basically have the type of numbers we could have in this place include maybe 9AB, because, this is the maximum you can get. This B is the maximum. Another example of number you could have here. Another example of number we could have here is 6A3, which is 12. And then, we could have, 10A, which is 12. You could also have 103, which is also, but then you have to put the 12. Now, we will go to the next one, which is basically, so this is base 12. And then now we will go into base 16. Now, in the case of base 16, what do we have? We have 0, between 0 till 16 minus 1. So this is up to 15, right? So here you have 0, till 15. And then here you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then here, when you get to 9, you cannot write 10, so you write A, B, C, D, E, which is basically 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15 will be F, right? So in this case, what are the type of numbers you could see here? You could see A, C, F. Basically 16 must be there. You could see 0, and you could see 1, 0, 16. You could see, anything that combines the numbers that are there. So yeah, this is the idea of, what are the different number systems that we have. But the idea here is just basically like introducing us to the different number systems. Ultimately, we will go to see how can we convert from one number system to another, especially how do we convert from our normal system, which is basically base 10, to another base. So this is what we will do in the next class. Thank you.